Hey there, this is Bob, the Vaping Computer Guy. More than a few people have mentioned to me, oh, you're always wearing the same shirt. Yeah, I'm at work, and it's my work shirt. People have mentioned to me about computers in the background and stuff like that, so I figured I'll go with it. So I changed channel name, a little rebranding there, and it's the Vaping Computer Guy. Today I just want to do a quick comparison among the different Kanger subtanks. They're my favorite tanks, pretty much. I haven't tried some of the newer sub-ohm clearomizers that have better airflows, which is what I plan to do next, because there are a lot out there, a lot of people reviewing those. I've been using the Kanger subtanks mainly, so I just want to give a quick comparison there for a few people that were asking me about which one to get. Now, we'll take a look up close at the Subtank Fullsize and the Mini. I don't have a Nano, and I'll explain why in a moment. I didn't bother to get a Nano, but I'll give you the specs on that and give you the differences. So let's take a look up close and see what the differences are. Okay, so the Subtanks come in these nice boxes. That's where your tank would be. Little pull-out, some information. I've taken the coils out of these, but they normally come with a couple of different coils, your O-rings, your screwdriver, and I'll explain the differences there, what they're for. Just want to give you an idea of the box. Since so many people like boxes and unboxing, and very similar with the Subtank, with the Mini. So some of the differences here. Here is a full-size Kanger Subtank. Put it the right way so you can see it. Here is, and I have juice in this with a coil right now, but here is the Subtank Mini. And you can see quite a bit of difference in comparison in size. Okay, both in width. Let's change that focus for you a little bit there. Alright, so let's see if that looks a little better for you. So you can see the difference in these two tanks in size. And there's quite a bit of a noticeable difference, and the Mini is even smaller. Now, both of these tanks, the Nano is even smaller, but unlike the Nano, the full-size Kanger Subtank and the Mini, which both take these OCC organic cotton coils, also have rebuildable deck option, which you put this in place of your coil. You can unscrew it. If I showed you the right side, that's the top part. There's two parts to this. Okay, so you take off that top little section there, and they allow you to take off the top so that you can prime your coils and drip right into there. Makes it easy, cleaning's easier. And then you can go right into building your own coils on here. And that's the main option that I like. Yeah, so I like being able to rebuild on that, and I think that's a wonderful option on these tanks because I like changing fluids quite a bit, and I don't like buying these $4 coils all the time. So in here you can rebuild, re-wick, clean it up, and you got a new tank every time. So now these coils come in, let's give you some of the specs on the differences. With the full-size Subtank, it takes OCC coils, it has the Mini rebuildable section. You can use these, I believe, are 0.5 and 1.2 ohm coils. Let me confirm that for you real quick here. Yeah, this is a 0.5 ohm coil. Actually, these are both 0.5 ohms. All right. So, but they do come with, I think, this is a 1.2. Sorry, 1.2 and a 0.5 ohm coil. And you get one of each, and one comes in the tank as you get it. You can remove it and put in the rebuildable section, which does come with the tank when you buy it. So the full-size Subtank takes the rebuildable coils, takes the OCC coils. It's 25 millimeters in size, and they claim holds 7 milliliters of juice. Now the 7 milliliters is when you have the OCC coil in. It's a little less when you have the larger rebuildable section in. I find you probably won't get the 7 milliliters anyway. You probably get more like 6, unless you're really trying to pack that thing completely full, which I don't recommend. Then when you go down to the Mini, The Mini also takes the OCC coils, the rebuildable. It's 22 millimeters in size, and they say it's 4.5 milliliters of juice. Also expect a little less. The Nano, the main difference with the Nano, and the reason I don't even have one, is you can't put in a rebuildable. It only takes the OCC coils. It's 18.5 millimeters in size and rated at 3 milliliters in e-juice. So that's the biggest thing with the Nano. The Nano's quite small. The Mini is an excellent size. It fits nice on, here it is on an iStick 30 watt. It fits perfect on there. It looks nice. You can see the little lip on something like an iStick 30 is made to accommodate 22 millimeter tanks, and it fits really nice. When you put something like the full-size Kanger Subtank on there, it is quite large and top-heavy. Put that there for you to see. Now, wattages on this. When you are using the 0.5 ohm OCC coil, they recommend 15 to 30 watts. And when you're using the 1.2 ohm coils, they're recommending 12 to 25 watts. I find you need to go a little lower than that. I find a lot of using a 0.5 ohm coil, a lot of e-juices, I'm staying in the 10 to 15 watt. And when I go above that, I'm getting burnt hits. So that's one thing to consider. Don't always go by their recommendations. These companies always recommend a lot higher than something in the real world is going to accept. Now the main difference, and the reason that I would recommend the Mini, the mid-range one, over all the others, is airflow. One of the problems that the full Subtank had, even with these 3 large air holes on here, which the turning and adjusting of it is not the smoothest. It's pretty tight on the couple of ones that I own. When it's on your mod, you may find it a little hard to turn. It's smooth, even though they got a little few indentations here to make it grip a little better. Let's see if we can get that a little better on there for you. No, it doesn't want to focus. All right, but there you go. I'm finding that it's not the smoothest for turning, and 3 air holes, even completely open, is just not enough airflow for me. When you switch to the Mini, which has the more of a slot instead of the holes, it does click nicer. It does turn better. It's still pretty tight, but the grip is better, and you can adjust it easier when you can get 1 hole, 2 holes, or a completely open slot. This does have much better airflow. They did correct that on that. The Nano also has the better airflow control and does work much better. It's not as much airflow as some of these newer sub-ohm tanks that are coming out now, but it does do a good job, and it is much better than the full size. Price-wise, you find these going online, the full size, for about $40. These are only about $3 less. On average, I'm seeing about $37 online. And the Nano, it's not the Nano, the Nanos are going for about $30. This is the best deal. The Mini has the best airflow. It is a good size. You can have the rebuildable option, which is included in price range is $35 to $40 online for them. So that would be my recommendation. What I'm going to do now that I'm using mainly minnows, one of my next projects is to try and open up some of these air holes. Try and Dremel that out, see if I can improve that, so I don't feel like I'm taking a bunch of full-size Kanger Subtanks that I have and wasting them. So we're going to do that. I'm going to try and record a video of that and get that up there and see if it works. If we just need to open up these air holes, and we'll see how that goes. And worst case, we waste a $40 tank. But if we can improve it, the airflow on there, it may be worth it. All right, so let's go back up. I don't have any juice in this full-size sub-tank here. Just putting a tip on it and taking a dry hit, basically. It's like a cigarette. It's really a tight drawer, and yeah, and you know, when you haven't used anything else, it would seem fine. If you're going from a dripper, forget it. This is like sucking through a straw that's being flattened. And then you go from that and you go back up to the, you go down in size to the smaller Subtank Mini. Take a hit on that. It's not like a dripper, but it's nowhere near as bad as that thing. It is much better. It is perfectly acceptable, and it's what you'd expect from a Subtank. But being a sub-ohm and a rebuildable sub-ohm Subtank. It's a nice tank, certainly for the $35, and I've seen them as low as $28 in some places. If, you can watch for it. Just depends what they get you with shipping. But yeah, it's a good tank. The Nano, the only time I'd recommend the Nano is for somebody that really wants something small. You want to stick something really small on something like an iStick. You can get away with that, but I recommend going with the mid-range Mini. That by far is going to be a best deal. So hopefully the next video I'll have, or next couple of videos, will be opening up that airflow on there. We'll Dremel that out, and we'll see what we can do with that and see if we can improve on it. Because if the airflow is better, I would prefer the larger tank because it holds more juice. And you can still have the rebuildable section. You can do everything you can with the Mini, except more juice. I don't mind too much about the top heavy, especially if you stick this on a box mod, or if you stick this on something like the iStick 50, which is my favorite. A little bit of overhang there, but for the most part, it's pretty good. So we'll Dremel that out and see what we can do with that, and we'll get a video up of that soon. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. If there's other sub-ohm tanks, I believe there's one other sub-ohm tank out there, or maybe two, that have rebuildable sections, but I believe, and the name escapes me at the moment, but I believe they don't come with the rebuildable section. You have to purchase that separately. Not the end of the world, but it would be nice if it came with it. I'll find out about those, and I'm going to Dremel this out. And if you have any other recommendations of sub-ohm tanks, especially ones with rebuildable sections, please comment below. And if you haven't, please subscribe to my videos. Thank you.